Hello, Bible readers. The last week is upon us. We're close. And so today, on Monday, June 21st, we're reading from Nehemiah. We've left Ezra, gotten into Nehemiah, and we're in 2 Timothy, reading chapter 2, verse 14 through chapter 3, verse 17. The book of Ezra, of course, we talked about this a bit when we started into Ezra Nehemiah. The book of Ezra focused on the rebuilding of the temple. The building itself, of course, and the temple as an institution capable of becoming the religious, political, and cultural hub, heart, soul of Judah. It's a rebuilding of identity to rebuild the temple. An identity that Christians are familiar with. We have a clue about it with stories of the temple in the New Testament. Nehemiah is an account of the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls. As hard as it is to wrap our minds around the central importance of the temple, I think it's just as difficult for us, for different reasons, to understand the necessity of a strong wall around a city 2,500 years ago. Basically, there's no point building anything if you can't defend it. So the walls around Jerusalem go hand in hand with the temple being rebuilt and all of Israel rebuilding their identity. Much of Nehemiah is written in a first-person narrative style, it's different from most of what we've read in the Old Testament. Traditionally, scholars call it the Nehemiah memoir. So we're going to read about Nehemiah's role in constructing walls. We're going to read about how the population of Jerusalem expands, how Nehemiah helps to correct social abuses, how he supports the worship life of the community. And here's our not favorite. We'll read about Nehemiah guarding against any mixing with foreigners, which in this period feels to those writing very faithful to Torah. Chapters 1 to 12 are from Nehemiah's first year in Jerusalem. Chapter 13 would happen 12 years later. So that's what we're getting into with Nehemiah. I find it to be pretty readable because it's from a first-person perspective. Okay, in 2 Timothy, when we're in chapter 2, verse 21, I haven't read 2 Timothy in a very long time because I remember this faintly, but here's one that I haven't shared with confirmands or really anybody before. Become special utensils. You know what I mean? Don't just be a wooden or clay fork. Be a gold one. Not the most famous metaphor in all of Scripture. Have nothing to do with stupid and senseless controversies. You know they breed quarrels. Okay, smart. And the Lord's servant must be kindly to everyone. Impossible much? The author is making liberal use of metaphor in this part of 2 Timothy, which is part of what makes it feel Pauline. It's kind of a trademark of a Paul letter. And then in chapter 3, we get this conversation of the last days. In the last days, distressing times will come. They sound like our kind of days, don't they? Like, here's what people are going to do and how they're going to behave. We have a lot of this. But are we special? Haven't really all generations included some of this behavior to some extent? The point that they're trying to make, though, here is learn from tradition, be realistic about the lessons they teach. I am one with my God. My God is with us, all of us, at all times and in all places.